FUNCLE's Customs, where I find all kinds of cars in different places. I usually fix them and flip them, but sometimes I keep them. This is My Garage Revivals.
Today I had to go and pick up Dennis's new car for some work we need to do to it. Hello everybody and welcome back to My Garage Revivals. Right, so it's Friday morning. It's a little bit later than usual, but yeah, luckily we don't have a lot of things going on today. So we've got Scotia's Ram truck over here, which I have basically moved over to here. So we've got a couple of things we need to install on this thing and then it'll be ready to go to paint. So we also have got Dennis's new car. So as you guys remember, he was a client in the past. He's actually Hugo's nephew. And he has upgraded it a little bit and he's got this 1970s Chevy Chevelle. So this thing is going to be here for some minor work. We need to basically pull the engine out by the looks of it. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to replace this timing cover with the engine in the car, but I might actually try that. We're also going to be mounting some, or putting in some spark plugs, performance spark plugs for him. And then we're also going to do the brakes, and I'm going to see if we can get to some of the suspension parts we need to fix up for him as well. So we're going to see if we can get this sorted out without having too much money spent on it, because as you guys know, Dennis is not really a very wealthy guy. He's just trying to keep his cars running and basically maintain them to the best of his ability. So yeah, we're going to try and help him out a bit and see how good we can do with regards to fixing it up for him. In other news, I also have got the tires and the wheels ready for the Chevy Bel Air, which we are going to go and pick up once we have dropped off Scotia's Ram truck. So we need to do a couple of things, and I think what we're going to do is we're going to firstly start by getting this thing running, and then we're going to mount all of the little nitty-gritty parts that we need to mount to this thing. So yeah, first of all, I think let's just pop this cluster into the dashboard, because it doesn't need any tools, it doesn't secure, we just need to, just like that. So we're also going to be doing some window winders and stuff like that. So yeah, I think let's get started and get the battery wires installed. Right, so this we need to secure over there, and we've got a bolt for the ground over there and also on the alternator. And there's also a bolt on the starter over there. Perfect. Alright, let's grab our battery now. Alright, let's get the battery installed. Just come and bolt it down over there and over there. Perfect. And then we've got a brand new radiator we can also grab. So let's get this radiator installed. Alright, just like that. And get that installed. Make sure all these bolts are tied down. Yeah, this truck that is lifted now, it's a little bit harder to work on it, but we're going to try our best and see if we can manage everything. So we've got a bunch of accessories we're also going to be putting on. We've got a trailer hitch for the back of the ramp, and we also have got the license plates over here for Scotia. So go and check him out if you haven't done so already. He's also got a restoration series that he is busy with. Alright, so let's come and grab our windscreen over here. I just put it on the sofa because it's a little bit safer over there. And then we'll get this thing popped in, just like that. And we'll grab the rear window over here as well. Alright, and pop that in. So on the interior we are still missing a gear shifter, so we're going to install the gear shifter that we currently have. Alright, so there we go, we've got a gear shifter installed. So I think let's tackle these door panels next, because they actually need to be replaced. So I actually haven't spoken to Scotia about the interior color he wants to go for, but I figured most of these parts are still in fair condition, so we might actually keep the bench and the dashboard, and we'll just replace the headliner and these door panels with new ones. And then we'll also just get a matching gear stick for him. Alright, so let's get this panel off as well. Just chuck it on a pile over there. Alright, and then now we're going to be able to do the window winders. This one is for the passenger side, so let's go over to this side. Alright, so we're going to remove this with the window. And then we're going to unbolt the window from the old window winder over here. And we're going to get it installed into the new one over here. And then we will just get this put back in and bolt it down. Alright, so there we go. The one window winder has been replaced. So let's do the opposite side as well. Alright, same story. We're gonna unbolt this old window winder which is broken. Just gonna set it down over here. We're gonna unbolt the window. And then we're gonna just attach it to the new one. And there we go. So there is the window winder replaced on that side as well. And then we can just chuck these old ones out of the way. I think I put the other one on the table over here, but that's okay. Alright, so next up I've got a taillight for the left hand side. So these are only going to be functionable if ever this truck is converted back to a flatbed, which I'm doubtful that it is going to be. Alright, so let's grab the blinker as well that we were missing at the front. Alright, so there we go. We're gonna just screw those screws down and just make sure these are nice and tight still. Yeah, they still look fine. Alright, and then now we're gonna grab our wrench again because we've got a front bumper that needs to go on. Alright, so there we have our new bumper installed. Let's just bolt it down. Just like that. Perfect. And then we've got a bumper guard, which is going on the front. So this will actually mount to the front of the truck over here, I believe. Alright, so it looks like this is the incorrect bumper guard for this truck. So we're going to have to maybe see if we can find him a different one. So luckily I kept the receipt for this, so we can send this back. We might have to see what other bumper guards we are able to get for this thing. But yes, I think now the last thing I still need to do is get this exhaust mounted. And then we can top up the fluids and get this thing lined up so that we can get the ramp installed at the back of the truck. So let's just come in here, make sure we've got those all tightened down. Alright, perfect. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to top up all of these fluids, and then we're going to see if this thing is going to fire up. And then we're going to move it so that we can get the ramp installed, and then yeah, I think that is going to be it. Alright, so all of the fluids are sorted out. We've got our coolant topped off, brake fluid and oil. So I think we are ready to see if this thing's going to fire up. So yes, I did put some diesel in the tank already. It's not a lot, so we don't really need to go very far with this truck. So we just need to see if it can at least start up. And there we go. So it is running very well. Alright, so there's one thing that I have basically forgotten over here, and that is the pedals. So we still need to get the manual pedals. So I'm going to run over to the shop quickly and get those so that we can get that installed. Alright, so we've got the correct pedals for the truck. So now I'm just going to have to see if I'm going to be able to get these old ones removed. It's going to be a little bit tricky without removing the bench seat. So I think let's just go ahead and do that quickly, because we need to remove the seat in order to get this carpet out again. Because I actually forgot about this. So let's make sure we get this replaced, and then we won't have any further trouble. Right, so there's the old carpet, and then we'll come around this side and let's get these pedals unbolted. Right, so there they are. And then we'll get the manual pedals installed. Alright, let's bolt them down. Alright, so now we can get our carpet put back in. And we'll grab our bench seat. And we'll bolt it down again. Alright, not too bad. Alright, and we're going to come around this side. Let's just bolt this seat down over there. And we've got some extra pedals laying around the shop now, so that is not really a problem. Alright, so what I'm going to do quickly is we're going to grab the front license plate. Going to quickly get this mounted. Alright, let's do it like this. And then I think now if we jump into this thing and start it up, we'll be able to move it at least a bit forward so that we can get that big ramp installed. It's a little bit too long to mount it where the truck is currently parked. Alright, so there we go. Alright, so now hopefully this thing is, yep, it's moving under its own power. Alright, perfect. I think this should be fine. Just to get the ramp installed. Alright, so let's quickly grab our wrench again. And then we'll grab the bed over here. So I haven't been able to test this thing just yet. Because we haven't had a battery in the truck for, well, since the truck actually came here. Alright, so let's see if we can get this thing mounted. So there's 6 bolts in total, 3 on each side. Let's get that one over there. Let's go around the other side. We'll get the one at the back. Right, there's one in the middle and one at the front. There we go. Alright, so we've got all of those. And then we can grab our trailer hook over here. Gonna get this mounted. Come on, there we go. Alright, so there's the trailer hook. And then we'll grab our screwdriver for the license plate. Just like that. And he's got his own personalized license plate, which I ordered. Cost a little bit more than just a normal license plate, obviously, but it's definitely worth it. And Scotia is a very good friend of mine. Alright, so now let's just quickly see if this ramp is going to do the job. Right, so it goes down. And it also retracts. So that is perfect. Alright, so I think this thing is ready to go over to Richards Autobody for its paint job over the weekend. So I'm not too sure how long it's going to take because these guys need to do a 2-tone paint job for Scotia. So he actually ordered a 2-tone color for the cab, and we also got to paint the ramp itself white, I believe he said. So yes, there's a couple of things we need to make sure we get right for Scotia. Alright, so here we go. This thing is running very well. Alright, so let's get our door closed up. And then we will take this thing over to Richards Autobody so that they can start getting this thing ready for paint. Alright, so we are here, and yeah, this Ram truck doesn't drive too bad. The engine makes a little bit less power than the one that we've got, because obviously this is a non-turbo engine. But it is definitely strong enough to get the job done, so I'm sure Scotia will be happy with that. So while we are here, and before we take a nice look at our Bel Air over there, let's quickly have a look at the 2nd gen Firebird over here. So yeah, it looks like they have put the primer on this thing, and they are probably going to start prepping it now for its final coat of paint. They did remove the engine so that they don't get any paint on that. So that is very cool. Alright, and yeah, I believe we just need to order some interior for this thing once they are done with the paint. And we are missing some door handles and also the actual chrome for the mirrors. So we'll get those things ordered up. Hopefully by the weekend we'll be ordered, and then we can hopefully expect it next week sometime. So yeah, that is getting along very nicely. So now we're gonna basically have a look at our 57 Bel Air. So this car has been painted in the two-tone red and white, as I've mentioned in the last episode. So yeah, these white accents on the fins and the white roof definitely makes all the difference with this car. So obviously they also had a guy come over and do the interior for us. So they've installed a custom dashboard, which yeah, that's basically the best dashboard that they could find that fits. And we've got some custom door cards, and then obviously the seats are also from a different vehicle because I was unable to find decent seats for this thing. So this is just basically what we're gonna have to work with. Right, so let's get this thing fired up. Alright, and then we're gonna take this back to the shop so that we can get our wheels mounted to this thing. Alright, so we're gonna get this thing up onto the lift that is empty, so let's just pull it in over here. We'll pull it a little bit further forward so we can open our door. And let's put it into park, and then... Right, so there we go. Now I just need to get this thing pushed back slightly. Alright, that should do. Let's go a little bit more. Alright, let's get this these arms under the car. It's a little bit hard with the current exhaust system on this car, but we'll see if we can get it lifted up, because obviously this car is lowered as well. So I'm not too sure if those arms, yeah, those arms look like they're going to be in the way of the wheels. So let's just move it a little bit more. Let's have a look around this side. Yeah, we also need to adjust this one inwards a bit more. Alright, I think that should do. So let's get our brand new wheels installed. Or not really brand new wheels, but the new to us wheels, and also the brand new tires. Right, so these wheels have definitely served us well. They have been yeah, available for when we would need some wheels on a car. Alright, but yes, look at that. That is exactly the look I was going for. This definitely suits the car very nicely. Alright, and then off with the old. Yeah, I'll just stack these things on the shelf a little bit later on. But for now, we can get our brand new wheels mounted. Just look at that. That is looking much better. Alright, let's go and do the other side. So let me bring the new ones closer first. Alright, let's grab this one. Alright, so let's get this wheel removed. So there we go. That is yeah, the last matching wheel we had on the car, because this one is an odd wheel. I think these wheels would look good on the right type of car, especially if you've got a proper tires on it. Might actually work very nice. Right, so let's get this one bolted down as well. And our last one. Alright, and there we go. So we've got our wheels mounted to our Bel Air, and I must say this definitely works out very nice. Alright, let's get these arms out from under the car. And then we'll just park it outside for the time being. I think this thing still needs to be in the sun a little bit. So let me see if I can push it backwards enough so that we can get in. There we go. Alright, so let's just get this thing parked outside. We'll leave it in the sun a bit so that this paint job can cure properly. Alright, so I'm thinking of actually moving the shop truck out from under the roof, because we obviously don't have to put that under the roof if we've got a beautiful 57 Bel Air now, which is going to be parked in the sun if we don't get it under the roof over there. So that is my plan. We're going to be parking the Bel Air there from now on. and I'll be using this car on weekends just to get around up and down. It's almost like a Sunday drive car. But yes, our shop truck over there will just probably be parked there in front of the trailer somewhere from now on, because obviously I would rather park this under the roof than the old shop truck over there. But for today I'm going to leave it out in the sun just to make sure that this paint job is going to cure properly, and then yeah, by next week we'll start parking this under the actual carport over there. But yes, now we need to continue work on Dennis's car. So as you guys know, I said we've got to do quite a little bit of things there. It's not going to be a big job really, it's just a couple of things we need to sort out for him. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by seeing if we can get that timing cover taken off, and then we're going to see if we've got a better timing cover somewhere on one of the other engines. Alright, so we've got the alternator that we can take off. Let's just get the wire undone as well. Alright, so there's the alternator. And I think while we are still working in the engine bay, we're going to lower this thing back down, because I just did a little bit of an inspection. That's why it was up on the lift. Alright, so let's lean in here, and I believe if we took off these 4 bolts on the timing cover, it should come off with the fuel pump and all of that. So let's just get the fuel line removed, and let me just see if I can find all of these bolts. They are a little bit hard and camouflaged when you are working on rusty parts, but we'll be able to get it off like this. Alright, so there we go. The timing cover is off. Let's just have a look at our timing chain. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Everything else under here seems fairly decent. Not really any major problems. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is let's just get this water pump and fuel pump removed so that we can go and see if we can find a better part from one of the other engines. Alright, so there we go. That's our water pump. Let's get our fuel pump removed as well. Alright, so there's one rusty timing cover. Alright, we'll just put it down over there for now. Alright, so let's just see what we can find over here. We've got a good timing cover on this engine. I'm not too sure if that's the only one we have. Let's just see this one back here. Right, so that one is also rusty. And that one over there is also rusty. So it looks like the only timing cover that we do have is this one on this engine. So let me unbolt this engine from this stand over here. Whoops, and that hood is actually supposed to be taken to the barn, so I might clean up over the weekend a little bit, get rid of some of these things in the shop, and then I'll also start working on getting one of these engines rebuilt for our next project vehicle. Alright, so let's see. We've got to take off this alternator first of all. So that is still a good part, so I'm just going to put them on the shelf here somewhere so that we've got, yeah, we don't know where everything is. Right, so the fuel pump on this thing looks good still. The water pump, however, doesn't look that good. Right, so there's our fuel pump. We'll just put that on the shelf as well. And now, let me see if I can get this. Yeah, let's just take the timing cover off, because it's easier to work on the water pump when this is off already. So let's do it like this. Alright, get this removed. Alright, there's the last bolt. Okay, so we've got our rusty old water pump. We'll just put it there for now. I'll sort everything out once I start working on the engines again. Right, so here's the timing cover. So I think we can get everything mounted back onto this again. Should be easy enough. And over there, we'll grab our fuel pump. So fuel pump goes over there. It's just bolted down again. And then we'll get the timing cover slided over there again. And let's just bolt it down. So we may have lost a little bit of coolant now because of taking the water pump off. But that's okay, we can always top it up. Right, and then we'll get the fuel line installed again. Just like that. Alright, so next up would be the spark plugs. So let's get these spark wires removed. Then we're going to grab the socket wrench or the spark plug wrench. Let's just loosen all of them. Alright, and over there. Alright, so that's all 8 of them loose. So now we're just going to basically take them all out. I'm just going to put them on the floor somewhere next to the car so that we can pick them up later on. Alright, so yeah, what's the condition of these spark plugs? They are still fair. This one looks a little bit bad. So it's a good thing we are swapping some of these parts out. Yeah, that one is also a bit bad. That one doesn't look too bad. That one was also still fine. Alright, perfect. So let me grab the new spark plugs. So just put them all in a backpack, because obviously these things, they don't come in a box. Alright, so let's get the first one in over here. We'll do them one at a time. Right, so there's the third one. Let's get the fourth one installed over there. Alright, spark plug wrench. Let me just get it again. There we go. Alright, and be sure to tighten them all down. Right, let's go around this side. Alright, let's just put that wrench down for now. We'll put these 4 in place and then we'll bolt them all down. Alright, and the third one for this side, and there's the fourth one for this side. Alright, let's put our backpack away. Let's bolt these spark plugs down. Perfect. Right, so now we can get our spark plug wires back on the car. And I actually want to see if this thing's going to fire up, but yeah, it should still fire up. I mean, we didn't do anything really bad in terms of that'll make the engine not run. So I think what I'm going to do is let's grab the coolant that was left from Scotia's ramp truck. Gonna see if we can top up this radiator a little bit. Right, so the coolant is sorted. Now let's check the oil next. So the oil is still perfect. That is not a problem. And let's just do a quick visual inspection around the engine bay over here and see what else is cooking. I think everything else still looks good. Alright, so I think the next part of the job would be suspension work. So let's get this thing lifted up again. Alright, it definitely has got some very nice wheels on this car. Alright, so we're gonna take off the wheels. We'll start with the driver's side front wheel. Let's just get that put down over there. Alright, obviously we're gonna quickly replace this front arm as well for him. So that is something we're gonna have to get. And we've also got this brake hose which needs to be replaced, but I think for the brakes we're going to be doing basically everything brand new. We're going to be checking the discs as well. Right, so this caliper is also sort of on its way out, so it'll be best just to replace it. Let's get some new brake rotors as well. These ones aren't that bad, or this one specifically isn't that bad, but it's definitely used. Alright, shock absorbers still seem decent. We're not going to bother with that. We're going to get a tie rod for him as well. This tie rod is also a little bit worn, so we'll get a new one of those. And I think that is it for that side. So let's come over to the passenger side over here. Right, so we'll take the wheel off. And then we'll take off this caliper. Right, so let's see how good this caliper is. The caliper is still fairly decent on this side. The brake line also doesn't look too bad. Right, so we just need to replace the driver's side caliper at the moment. Alright, and then let's just check this brake disc and see how good this one still is. Alright, so we're gonna get one brake disc for this side. Yeah, we might as well just get 2 new ones. But as for the caliper, I think caliper is still fine. We'll get new brake pads anyway. So we'll replace that caliper and this arm, the tie rod, and then brake discs at the front. Alright, so let's go around to the back over here. So let's grab our wrench again over here. Ah, I nearly forgot about the alternator. That is not good. Let's quickly slide the alternator in here. And we've got a bolt to tighten down over here. And there's one over there. Alright, perfect. So there's the alternator back. Alright, so now let's take off this wheel. See what we'll find behind this. Alright, so we've got a bad caliper over here. Alright, so there's the one bad caliper on that side. So we'll replace that for him. And let's grab our screwdriver. Let's check this brake disc. Right, brake disc is also quite worn, so we'll get a new one of those as well for him. Alright, let's tackle this corner over here. The last one, but definitely not the least. Alright, so here we need to replace a hub by the looks of it as well. And the brake caliper. Alright, so there's our worn brake caliper. And then let's quickly check this brake disc as well. Alright, so that brake disc isn't too bad either, but we'll just get a new one of those for him as well. Alright, this handbrake cable is also not looking too fresh. So we'll have to replace that as well. Alright, so there and over there. Right, so there's the handbrake cable we're also going to be replacing. And I believe that is everything. I don't see anything else bad under this car. So hopefully we can get this thing sorted out for Dennis now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly pick up all of the parts we need to replace over here. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace everything we see over here. Just going to make a list of everything I need, and we're going to quickly jump in our shop truck. And then we're going to go and pick up these things, and then we're going to come and install it and send this car back to Dennis, because yeah, I don't think he wants to sit the whole weekend without his car. So we're going to sort that out for him and make sure this thing is ready to rock and roll. Alright, so I did a little bit of shopping and I think I've got everything that I need. I just brought those 3 parts with just to make sure we get everything we need. So we've got a brand new hub, we've got our new upper control arm and a brand new tie rod over here. And then I've got all of the brake discs and all the brake calipers and 4 new brake hoses, as well as the pads we need to install. So let's get these things back to the shop, and then we're going to see if we can get Dennis's car sorted out for him. And yeah, then we're going to go and deliver it to him, and then hopefully he's going to be a happy chappy. Alright, and we are back. We've got all of the parts here, so let's just quickly offload all of the old parts as well. Just drop it on the floor here. I'll clean up a little bit later on. Alright, I think the easiest way is just to collect everything into my backpack. Alright, so let's just grab all of these things for now. So we've got our front left caliper, we've got a brake line for it. And then we'll do the brake pads as well. We've got our rear brake pads. Let's go and drop these around the back of the car. Alright, so that is a rear brake disc. Let's get our rear hub over here. We've got a new front brake disc. And we're going to have a brake line for each corner. So let's put one of these at each corner. Just like that. And let's grab the rest of the things from the truck. Right, so there we go. We've got all of these. Alright, that looks like it's everything. We just need to get this handbrake cable into place. So let's just put it on there for now. We've got our upper control arm. Let's just drop it over here. We've got another front brake disc for here. Alright, we've got a brand new brake disc for the back. Also managed to buy the steering arm because I noticed this thing was rusty earlier. And I actually forgot to take it off. So we've got a new one of those as well. And we've got our front right caliper, and we've got our rear right caliper over here. And there's the caliper for the rear left. And here is the brand new tie rod that we bought as well. Alright, so let's get cracking. We need to get all of these parts installed quickly. So I'm going to start with the back over here. So let's get this hub installed. And let's get that bolted down. Ah, come on, I forgot about the handbrake cable. Alright, so let's just put that as well while we are over here. Okay, perfect. So we've got our hub installed. Let's grab our brake pads for this caliper. Let's just get them installed. And we'll grab our brake disc over there. Okay, so this is going to go over to that side now. Alright, brake disc. Let's bolt it down. And let's grab our caliper. Goes on over there. Let's bolt it down. Our new brake line. And there we go. That is bolted down. Alright, so while we are busy here at the front, let's just quickly remove this part we need to get out of the way for the steering arm to come off. Alright, so there's the old steering arm off now. Okay, let's get the new one installed. That goes over here. Right, let's get our steering link back into place. Right, let's bolt it down. Let's get our tie rod back into place. And everything else is still nice and tight over here. Alright, so let's continue with our rear brake caliper on this side quickly. We'll get some pads into this caliper. Alright, there we go. Alright, brake disc. We're going to need the screwdriver for that as well. Okay, and let's screw that down. Let's get our caliper installed. And be sure to bolt it down. And our brake line. Let's bolt it down too. Perfect. Alright, so now the rear wheels can go back onto this car. So I think everything is sorted out the back. Alright, let's grab this wheel as well. Let's get that back. Alright, so let's continue with our front suspension. We've got our new control arm. And there we go. Alright, so now let's grab the brand new tie rod over here. There we go. That's the new tie rod. Let's put on the new brake disc. Let me grab the screwdriver over here. Alright, so this is empty now. Alright, and bolt that down or screw it down. Right, so that's the old caliper. Where did I kick the new caliper to now? Let me just see. I think this is it. Yes, this is a brand new front left caliper. Right, perfect. Let's get our new pads in. Alright, just like that. Alright, on goes the caliper. Let's bolt it down. Let's grab this brake line as well. Alright, let's grab the wheel. Perfect. Alright, so now the last corner over here, we need to get our new brake disc mounted. Let's just screw that down over there. And last but not least, we are going to put in these last two pads we have into our new caliper. And let's get this caliper mounted. And last but not least, the brake line. Perfect. And let's get the last wheel mounted as well. And there we go. I believe that is everything sorted out. I don't think there's anything we missed. We've got everything nice and tight. And obviously, when I edit the videos and I see some things that I missed, I will obviously go back and make sure that is done. So, yeah, I think I've got everything. I don't think there's anything I missed. So, that is going to be a wrap for this episode. So, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate every view, every like. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. I will appreciate it very much. But yes, until the next time, cheerio.